All right. All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Starting off, giving all praises, honor, and glory. It goes to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Brakathum, to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Taziyar Benyamin from the GMS Kansas City Church. Back with another lesson. No title in mind. Just want to get in the spirit. I want to start off by playing this clip. One of the apostles always, not just one of them, but the apostles always, mention this scene from the movie Platoon. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Come on, birds on the way, man.
Here, I'm gonna start earlier so we can get the context. So if it's a little long, Salakia. But I want us to see it. All right.
Right there. Man. Oh, shit. How bad is it, Doc? I don't fucking blow a table. Relax, man. It's a scratch. Don't hold this on here.
Don't lie to me, Doc. How bad is it?
He let him walk right up on us. He was sleeping on his goddamn shit.
No, I did not.
Big Harold, you keep an eye on him. You don't let him go into shock.
Shut up. Shut up. Take the pain. Take the pain.
Red leg, Bravo 6. I have NDPs at this time, over.
Hey, little guy. You're gonna be okay. Okay? Don't worry. Big Harold. Do you know if you're gonna die? Do you feel like everything's just gonna be fine?
Don't give me that morbid bullshit. About to get out of here. They're gonna give you 3 hot meals a day. White sheets. Them pretty white nurses, they gonna give you blowjobs. You pay them enough. I heard all about them white bitches.
Don't baby talking, man. The cocksucker fell asleep. He let him walk right up on us. He don't do shit.
Just shut up, Junior. You relax, okay, man?
It's not so bad. Dying. How long? How long? It's just...
Come on, birds on the way, man. Hang in there. You're gonna make it. Come on, Gardner. Come on. Come on, Gardner. Help me. Don't give up.
Y'all take a good look at this lump of shit. Remember what it looks like. You fuck up in a firefight and I goddamn guarantee you a trip out of the bush. In a body bag. Out here, assholes, you keep your shit wired tight at all times.
All right, and that's it. That's the point. All right, because the scene really just, shows like, a ambush in Vietnam. But everybody wasn't on point. Everybody wasn't watching, which resulted in some people getting their lives lost. But the apostles, they always mention that quote. You got to keep your shit wired tight at all times. And here in 2026, we are in the trenches. Okay, the war is on, the spiritual war. These demons, the spiritual demon Satan, and also, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, that being the Edomites, who are the so-called white people today. All right, they are waging war against us, man. The videos getting taken down is just it's just one way of war, because you got different ways war is fought: in the air, on land, in sea, electronically, through the internet, things like that. Well, that's the same thing. We fight war on the YouTube, going against you scoffers and going against the wicked individuals at YouTube headquarters, 901 Cherry Avenue, San Bruno, California. All right, but we also battle demons when we out doing our street ministry, street preaching. You know what I'm saying? Scoffers come up, people coming up against us. All right, but we also are fighting war within our personal life, man. All right, Satan hopping on certain relationships or certain things going on at your job. All of it. We know all the fronts of war that we have to fight. But as Barnes said in the movie, you got to keep your shit wrapped tight, man. Because if you slip again, you could be taken out of this thing. And we have to remind ourselves, we've been laboring for YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You know what I'm saying? We've been sacrificing for the Lord. But it could always be a point in time where the Most High say, you know what? I don't want him. All right? It could be a point in time where the Most High say, you know what? I'm done dealing with him, man. And then he'll give you up to the demons that are in the world. Let's read this. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in YAHAWASHI the anointed, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also, right? And we ain't gonna just we ain't teaching brothers how to get you a Hebrew Keisha wife, man. All right, we ain't teach you brothers how to get your woman to wear a hair wrap. Okay, we ain't teaching you brothers to get homesteads. All right, we teaching you brothers, the fear of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, prophecies, and understanding how the devil is coming, man. The so-called white man, understand how he's coming. So we teach y'all that so you be able to teach others also, because that is the job of the watchman. All right, and we also tell brothers to be responsible and to what? Keep their shit wired tight, man. Okay? We understand we get loose, whatever that means for you, but don't get too loose where your ass get lost, man. And say it that way, we get loose, we do things, we enjoy ourselves, we know we at the end, we also want to be, conscious about our environment. Don't get too loose where you get lost, man. We don't want to be out there stumbling. We don't want to be out there trying to appease the flesh so much that it becomes unprofitable. All right. So let's read here. 2 Timothy 2 verse 3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWASHI the anointed, right? And we understand where the hardness comes from. You know, first and foremost, all sources of all things, good and evil, come from the Most High Yahweh and His Son YAHAWASHI, man. But also, you know, the agents of Satan, as we mentioned earlier, they help form that hardness, man. Okay, especially when the Jacob's trouble gets real hot, and the wicked starts to reveal who are the main ones they want to get rid of. That lot is going to fall upon us, man. And this truth is already a hard walk to begin with. And, you know, the challenges are going to rise, man. And we have to rise to the occasion. All right? We have to rise to the occasion through the spirit and power of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi and belief in those names, man. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWASHI the anointed. No man that warreth entangling himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. Okay, so this wasn't, you know, just some sort of draft of all men. And the Most High just take everybody who, you know, who hears about the truth. No, it's a selection process. All right, the same way you have I know brothers be mentioning this. All right, Navy SEAL training, you know. Let me get Bing images. Oh, shit. All right, yeah, everybody who you know is training and trying to get into the SEAL program, they don't automatically become SEALs, man. You know, that buds training is so intense that probably only 5 men out of, you know, 100 candidates and whatnot get chosen. See what I'm saying? See all these men? But all these men, only a select group make it. It might just be one guy out of all these men. All right? But the way you make it is through enduring the hardness and letting Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi form your mind to be a warrior, man. Think like a warrior. Even in your folly, still be a warrior, man. All right? And get another precept. Just get into a few more precepts. Psalms 27:1. The Lord Yahweh is my light and my salvation, and whom shall I fear? The Lord Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came up upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war shall rise up against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of the Lord Yahweh, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. Okay? And we are truly going to do that, Lord willing, we be the elect, after these last few months of prophecy, man. You know, notice how I ain't say years. After these last few months of prophecy, you know, Jake, we had the opportunity to experience the peace, behold the beauty of the Lord, man, through that salvation. But before that, you know, we have to go against the host encamped against you. You know, war rising against us, man. Okay? But in this will we be confident in what? Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi, man. So every man in your flesh, you're gonna keep your things wired tight to the best of your ability within your flesh. You know, having discipline, being circumspect, communicating with brothers. But also the Lord is gonna have the angels uphold the elect. You know what I'm saying? Uphold the elect, so that their deliverance is assured and guaranteed, man. You know, because the scriptures say, if the Most High be with you, who can therefore be against you, man? Psalms 27:5, for in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me and shall set me upon a rock. Right, exactly, man. Brothers, you got to look for signs. You got to look for spiritual signs, man. All right, and this trip we had was highly spiritual. You know, we've been speaking on some things. You know, Lord willing, I'll be getting up with the brother YAHAWASHI, and we can speak on, you know, the chariots. You know, the Most High was really showing us our protection, man. All right, and the protection of the chariots, they don't just show up as orbs in the sky, man. All right, the angels can come in different forms. The angels can come in the form of animals. You know, the angels can come in the form of men. You know, the angels, they can pull up in the air as clouds, man. All right, the angels can pull up in the water. Okay, and we've seen these things, man. Psalms 27:5, for in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. And now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing praises unto the Lord. Right, because once we make it out the bush, as they were saying in the movie, once we make it out the trenches, that's when the party begins, man. All right. And you know how we talk, you know, when we see these devils down, when we see these devils hurting, we be celebrating. Yeah, but you can't celebrate too early. There's still way more work to be done. And believe this devil is going to try to make his final checkmate move, man. Is to get rid of as many of the righteous as possible. And he's setting up for that. Believe that. GMS always told you that this man is going to try to roll on us, man. In 2026, we ain't changing that message. We ain't trying to distract you with whole new breakdowns to every foundational precept to this knowledge. We're not trying to distract you with Passover parties. We're not trying to distract you with, music videos. All right, we're edifying you on the coming outcomes of what's in the future, man. This devil will roll. This devil will try to eliminate the righteous. More things on the right hand will show up. There will be more signs in the heavens. Okay? Brothers are going to be having more testimonies of the Lord showing them things. And this is all for us to recycle back into these videos to get these messages out so the new believers can have the same hope and confidence that we have, man. All right? Because I've been in the truth for a little minute, you know, and I'm thankful that YAHAWASHI is building up my confidence in him and faith in him to where I don't worry as much, you know. My own mother told me this, you know, a few weeks back, that this is the most calmest she ever seen me. You know, because I used to be a Jake, used to be very upset at certain things, you know, anger issues, you know, you have a short temper. But, you know, the Lord really showed me that, hey, we just got to sit back and do the work and let him control everything. You know, when that idea really settled in my spirit, you know, a lot of things soothed in my life, you know. A lot of emotions eased in my life, you know. Hey, and that gave me the opportunity to keep my shit wired tight, man. Because if you get too emotional, if you get too upset, if you get too irrational, you know, you get too impulsive, that could get you in the jam too. All right, Psalm 74:20, have respect unto the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are full of the habitations of cruelty. This is where we at. You know, like when you're in the mall and you look at the map, it says you are here. Yeah, this is where we at. The dark places of the earth full of habitations of cruelty. Oh, let not the oppressed return ashamed. Let the poor and needy praise thy name. Arise, O God, plead thine own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproaches me daily. Forget not the voice of thine enemies. The tumult of those that rise up against me, against thee, increaseth continually. All right. And that is through the workings of the spiritual demon Satan, man. You know, because me and the brother Rukaga Bar yesterday, we did a lesson. You know, the earth will serve its future masters. And we go into how the spirit on some people, you know, are more wanting to, you know, appease the men of the Lord. But also, you do have those spirits that fucking hate your guts, man. You do have those spirits that want to put you to death, man. Okay? So our enemies are gaining quickly, man. And we have no fear over that. Because we know who our power is. We know what our power is going to do. Okay? Last precept. You know, I didn't have no title in mind. I wanted to get into the clip and let it do what it do. So Lord willing is edifying. Psalms 44:5. How thou, let me see, let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, that's cool. It says how thou didst drivest out the let's view in chapter. He's gonna start at 1. Psalms 44:1. It says, to the chief musician, the sons of Korah, my shield, we have heard with our ears, O God, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old, how thou didst drive out the heathen with thine hand, and plantest them, how thou didst afflict the people and cast them out, right? Because the Most High Yahweh showed up to defend his people, man. The Most High Yahweh showed up to punish our enemies in the same way he's going to do here in these last days, man. Call halal, YAHAWASHI, man. And Lord will, he does it quickly, man. For they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thine arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast a favor unto them. Right, we ain't got to get no military and invade the land of Israel. Yahawashi is going to come back and obliterate them, man. It says, thou art my king, O Yahweh. Command deliverances for Jacob. Through thee we will push down our enemies. Through thy name we will tread them that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us. In the Most High Yahweh we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever. Selah, man. Okay? So when we keep our shit wired tight, when we go through these persecutions and these spiritual attacks, and hey, it might even be physical attacks. When you keep those names of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, and wanting to please him and be a light shining in this darkness, the Most High will back you up, man. And when he shows up, he's going to inflict great damage and pain to this earth. You know, but until then, hey, we got to keep our shit wired tight, you know. But with that, all praise, honor, and glory goes YAHAWASHI. Shalom.